What's up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And I am here to talk about this 007 drop day. In fact, we have two drops that we're going to cover in one video. And the first one is going to be the No Time to Die. I'm going to give you all of my thoughts about this. I think these are going to be two very, very, very important drops.
Woo!
So let's start with the first one, which is going to be October the 1st at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That is 10 a.m. here in Central Time. Here in Central Time. I'm talking like I'm from St. Louis. 8 a.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Central Time. Right here. So I will be ready to go, and I will be on top of this drop, which I am taking very seriously. Now, I am monitoring the action that is on the VeVe market headed into both of the two drops that we're going to be talking about tonight. And I'm noticing that the prices are going down. We're getting a little bit of a significant dip again, which is the second one that I have seen since last night. Last night we dipped way down, popped right back up. Well, now we're dipping back way down again. We thought that the diamond hands or the whales or whatever you want to call them were snapping up all of those bargains and bringing the floors back up where they would stay. But no, it's dipping back down again. There's people selling like bananas. They're trying to come up with the gems for this drop. All right, so let's see why people are selling their items and getting rid of things at bargain basement prices to purchase this stuff. Why is this going to be a monumental drop? Why do I think it'll be high in demand? Well, first of all, the James Bond brand is iconic. Second of all, this looks like it is going to be a very cool artwork. So we have this glider thing developed by Q. This stealth vehicle allows agents to infiltrate enemy territory undetected. Bond and MI6 agent Naomi use the glider, which transforms into a submersible. I'm starting to sound like a complete nerd. You can read all of that crap. So that's highly entertaining. Well, at any rate, there are two versions of the glider. Version number one is the static, and it is a hefty 127 gems. There's only 5,007. I think this is going to be a static that does well. I will not go for this in the drop, though, because from the last two drops that we had, well, several, not just the two, the last several drops dating back all the way to the Ecto 1, the rares, and especially static rares, don't hold market value in the beginning for a while. I mean, a long time. If you look at the DeLorean drop from last, what was it, March? I think it was in March, at least 6 months ago. The static DeLorean is still under the retail price of $69.99. It's on the market right now at $60 last time I checked, but it's been as low as in the 30s, and we still are not back with our head above water on that item. On the last drop, we did not hold the value. We're not talking about the comic drop, but we are talking about the modern Marvel Series 2 Throg. Well, that doesn't count. It was a blind box, even though the value on the common is dipping pretty far down on that. And the only reason why the rare here is doing good is because it was a blind box flat rate drop. But on the other ones, like serial killers, well, that doesn't count because these are in high demand. But dating back before that, the Star Trek Next Generation, the rare, the cube, the Borg cube is one that you can compare and probably get a good idea of what the price action will end up doing after the drop. So I am going to bet on the fact that this is going to drop after the initial release. 127 gems. I'll be looking to get it at 100 gems or less. That's my goal. Now, this is not financial advice. You make your own decisions. Don't miss out on this just because you heard me say it's going to drop in value when it hits the market. We really don't know until it gets there. The argument for the value being held could be that this is really cool artwork. Now, I thought the Borg was fantastic artwork. but we did see that value drop considerably, all the way down to what, 60 gems? And that was the rare. All right, well, enough about that. There's our rare. And then we have the animated 1-to-1. Let's see, was that rare? Yeah, the 1-to-1 static is the same dimension, the same proportions, rather. The 1-to-1 animated glider will be 197 gems. There's only 3,007. I think we'll be lucky to get one. I will be going for this. I will load up a couple hundred gems. And I tell you what, I have not bought gems at a discount from anybody in the little chat swap meet groups. I tend to not want to go through that trouble because all it takes is getting burned one time, and there goes your advantage for getting the gems at a discount. So I always buy my gems off the app or get my gems from selling a couple items at high price. And speaking of, let me give you a report on where I am with my item count. How many are in the stash now? Well, let's see here. We are up to 450. My goal, my short-term goal, or for this year, was to hit 500 items. So I've got 50 more to have 500 in my stash. Maybe I'll be a baby whale or something like that. Okay, so that's the animated glider at 197. My guess is that the value on this is going to shoot up fast. Based on what we have seen previously, we've seen 3x to 4x of the price. So this is 197. We have seen anywhere from where this would be at about $1,000, $800 to $1,000 coming out. Now, when you look at Spider-Man, the Spider-Man Ultra Rare did very, very well. Whereas the Captain America Ultra Rare didn't do so well. The Ultra Rare actually dipped all the way down to the retail price just about 3 weeks ago. And then it exploded from there, but it's still only sitting at about 800 and some odd gems. So there's quite a few more additions. So that's why I expect this 1-to-1 animated glider to explode in price and probably test 1,000. So if you're able to get one of these, consider yourself lucky. But I will be sitting here waiting to pull the trigger on this drop at 10 a.m. All right, so let's move on to the next drop. The next one is going to be the, here we are, the posters. Now, I saw a lot of people talking about the posters where they seem to be unimpressed, saying that the posters are boring. Now, let me remind you, the Back to the Future and the Bill and Ted's Adventure posters, all of the posters on that drop. I bought one. I got the Back to the Future poster. I think it was 90 gems or 100, somewhere around there. And it peaked out immediately at a little bit above 200. And then it dropped all the way back down to close to 100. And then when it rose to 150, I sold mine. But then I invested that 150 into other items that were really moving. So now that poster was selling for 500 gems. So that's at least a 5x from the retail price. For that reason, I am going to try my best to get one or both of these posters. So on the No Time to Die posters, I believe that these are very artistic. It's simple. It's 007's. This is the flavor of the artwork of 007, in my opinion, of the films. And so this first one just has the scope, the dot. That's kind of cool. It's very simple. And there's the 007 logo right there. So this would be the Ultra Rare, and it's 107 gems. And there's only going to be 2,507. I expect this drop to sell out in a fraction of a second. So you're going to have to decide on what you want. All right. This is the Series 1, which means that there could possibly be a Series 2 poster for the James Bond series. Here's the second poster. It is the rare. There's 4,007 of these. It's at 87 gems. I love this artwork. I like this one better than the Ultra Rare, actually. This is just cool because it's so simplistic and Bond-like. But this one, I love the art. I love the concept. I love the black and white. It is really cool. So this is No Time to Die poster number 2. Now, you probably won't be able to get both in the same drop unless you employ the double back method. In other words, after you secure the first one in 90 seconds, when the timer is counting down for everyone, there will be a lot of failed transactions. So you want to start hitting that buy button right at the, say, 80-second mark, so that just maybe you'll be lucky enough to snag somebody else's rejected purchase where they did not complete the transaction in the 90 seconds time. So there's a chance you could get both. All right, so that is my opinion. I would like to know your opinion about both of these drops. And by the way, this one is in the afternoon. It's like, let's see here. This one is happening at 12 p.m. on the Western time, Pacific. And so that means it'll be 2 p.m. here in Central in the great state of Missouri, capital city of Jefferson City. So I will be jumping into both of these and pausing my busy day to attempt grabbing items in each of these drops. Let me know what your thoughts are about each drop. I want to know, what are you going after in this drop? And I'll see you on the next report about the most important drop of all. Maybe one of my favorites of all time is coming up, and we will discuss why. This is Carlton, and I am out.